Welcome to our very first video podcast. As always, there's going to be a ton of juicy information for you in today's episode. And today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, which is SEO. Last week, I shared a repurposed episode where I talked a little bit more about the importance of SEO for entrepreneurs. And today I wanted to dive into that a little bit more and specifically talk about ranking your website on Google. So why do I love SEO so frickin' much? Because of what it provides entrepreneurs. So a little backstory. Back in 2017, I had been blogging and, updated my site title. I'd been doing some alt text, all of these different things that I had kind of picked up in various resources as it related to SEO. And I implemented them in a non-organized fashion, literally knowing nothing about what I was doing. But my goal was, I have this website. I think it's pretty freaking amazing. I want people to find it. So fast forward to 2018, the beginning of 2018, and I got a text from a family friend who said that, hey, do you know that your website's ranked on Google? And I about lost it, y'all. I was like, what? And she was like, yes, I typed in, branding, brand coach, and there you were. And that's when I started to really realize the power behind SEO, or search engine optimization, if you are not familiar. It's essentially how Google categorizes content, Google being kind of our main one that we think about, but it also plays a role on platforms like Pinterest, YouTube even, right, is a search engine platform, and so many other marketing platforms as well. And so I started to really think about SEO and how I could start to share that information with my clients. And behind the scenes, I was learning as much as I possibly could around SEO to make it so that I was getting even more traffic to my website. So over the years, I've really looked at SEO, specifically optimizing your website, as a way to get massive brand exposure. And here at Brandmerry, that is the focus, right? We are 100% focused on getting your brand seen, not only building your brand, building that solid foundation, but then once you have that, making sure that you're getting in front of your ideal customer, making sure that people can find you. And that's really my specific approach to marketing. I am not about blasting your information all over the internet and hoping that it lands in front of the right people. It's about putting your stuff on the internet and attracting individuals to you, which is where search engines come into play. Because our ideal customers are searching for information every freaking day. I mean, think about you as a consumer and how you are also searching for information, right? And so if we can set our content, set our website ultimately up so that it's showing up for these appropriate keywords, imagine what is possible for you and your brand. Now, the work that I did back in 2017 continues to deliver results for my business and continues to bring in leads and clients and other opportunities as well. I actually got a speaking opportunity at the beginning of 2020. It was canceled. However, they found me on Google. And so these different practices that you can put into play, some of that we're going to be talking about today, are things that you can do once and then watch the traffic trickle in. And obviously there are additional things that you can do like blogging, which we talked about in last week's episode. But today I really just want to focus on your website. So just your beautiful website that you've either created yourself or probably spent money having someone else create, making sure that it's actually showing up. And this is such a missed opportunity for brands. I mean, honestly, the amount of people who come to work with me that have zero SEO on their website or worked with a brand, worked with another brand coach or worked with a website designer and thought their SEO was set up, but it wasn't, right? And again, the longer that you take to actually put these pieces in place, the longer that you are deferring leads and sales in your business. So When we think about SEO as a brand exposure technique, like that is hands down my favorite way to look at it. How can you get your website, your content, your brand in front of the right people who are already searching online? And so, in my business, I rank for multiple keywords. It's something I've developed over the years. We're going to talk about keyword research in just a couple minutes, but this is something that I have, been building for quite some time. And that's the thing with SEO. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time. But the more that you understand SEO at its core, the more that you can integrate it again into all of your different marketing techniques. So what I learned and what I implemented for my website SEO, we're talking about today, the same strategies apply to SEO in general. And so I can use those strategies for every blog post that I create, every podcast I create. If I'm posting short form video on, let's say, Pinterest or even TikTok, YouTube videos, like all of it, it's the same fundamental principles. And that is what I think is so cool about understanding marketing. My husband and I had a conversation the other day, and one of the things that I said is I'm not interested in giving an entrepreneur, a fish, like the old saying, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach him how to fish, he eats for an entire life. I am interested in teaching entrepreneurs, teaching you, the listeners of this podcast, how to do things, how to understand the fundamentals of marketing, because then you can use those concepts in all of the areas of building your business. And I think that that's really empowering, and it also leads to sustainability. And then on this note of sustainability, that is the other reason I love SEO, because as entrepreneurs, we are constantly creating content. We are constantly thinking of ways to market our business, again, get our brand seen by our ideal customers. And what is so cool about SEO, in my opinion, is that you can use these amazing strategies to optimize that content, and that content keeps performing for you for years and years and years to come. Some of my blog posts that still drive traffic to my website, I posted in 2016. Like, thank goodness you can go back and update content, because they were not cute, but they were, the right keywords, and they served their purpose at that time, and they continuously drive traffic to my website. So when you're thinking about sustainable marketing strategies, SEO really, 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 in my opinion, is the top. It's the top tier, because I don't have to post a new blog every single day in order to drive traffic to my website. I can post one a week, or some of my clients do it even bi-weekly. I can make sure it's optimized, and then it can continuously drive traffic. So that's another reason that I obviously love SEO. So if you are sold now on SEO, let's talk about some of the key things that you need to keep in mind when you are specifically setting up SEO for your website. So the first thing that you need to be aware of is the client buying journey. Now, I did an entire episode on this in episode 84, which of course is not available on YouTube because this is the first video podcast, but you can listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And I also have a YouTube video about it. So if you're already on YouTube, we'll link that below. But the client buying journey is something that every single marketer needs to be aware of. And it's something that I didn't learn until like 5 years into my business, which just seems like someone should have taught me this way, way sooner. But the client buying journey is really understanding how consumers make purchase decisions, and understanding that someone, your ideal customer, might find you at the beginning stages of their journey, or they might find you when they're literally ready to make a purchase decision. Having that information is critical because it helps you design your own custom client buying journey for your ideal customer, meaning that you have content that's related to the problem that they're experiencing, really supporting them with those early stages. And then you also have content, or specifically in our case, keywords that allow your website to show up when someone is ready to make a purchase decision. And so when you're thinking about website SEO, or I call it site-wide SEO at Brandmerry, site-wide SEO, you want to think about what someone is Googling at that stage 4, stage 5 of the client buying journey when they are ready to invest. They're already aware of the problem. They're already aware of some solutions. They're shopping around, as some would say. So what are they searching for at that stage? And that's one of the reasons that I now rank for multiple keywords, because my ideal customer, based on their knowledge, might type in, branding coach or personal branding consultant or, just even brand coach, right? Or business consultant, different things like that. And so you really want to think about what your ideal customer is searching for at that stage of the client buying journey. And that's where a lot of entrepreneurs mess up, honestly, when they're doing their site-wide SEO, is they're trying to go too big, or they're trying to just talk about the symptoms that their ideal customer is facing. Let your blog content handle that. Focus on individuals who are ready to invest. And this is really important because especially if you have higher ticket offerings. So let's say you are a consultant, you are a coach, you offer some sort of one-to-one services, even graphic design, something like that, maybe higher price point. This is a fantastic way to bring in qualified leads that are further along in the buying process, and it requires less of a gap to actually nurture them and get them to invest. I'll give you an example. So many of my one-to-one clients, I actually signed a client about a month ago, and this was the case. Never heard of me before, never consumed any of my content, wasn't even on my email list, was looking specifically for someone to help them with their branding and their messaging. Put these specific keywords inside of Google, found my website, my story was there, all of these things that I talk about at Brandmerry that are so important. My copy was on point, my content was on point. They saw that I knew what the F I was doing. There was testimonials. Put in an inquiry, signed on as a one-on-one client, which is a multiple $1,000 investment. And there was such a small effort on my part that needed to happen to ultimately close that sale. And this has happened time and time again in my business. Many of my high-level one-on-one clients, because they know what they're looking for and they are, of course, ready to make that investment, they will find me via Google. Most of my leads come in this way. And so that's what I'm talking about on that sweet spot. But of course, it can also play a role if you sell courses or programs or products. Some of my clients sell products, skincare products, even if a local in-person service. Like, SEO works no matter what you sell. And my clients who are photographers use SEO all of the time to bring in their ideal customers locally. So it really, really is important. But again, understanding the client buying journey is key to what types of keywords you ultimately use. And so that's something else that I want to talk about is you're not guessing here. There's no guessing. There's data. There's data available at your fingertips that you need to be using. And you can, use amazing tools that I talk about a lot. Keywords Everywhere is my favorite tool. It's a paid tool, but it's very affordable. It's $10 for so many searches. I think I use $20 a year is what I invest. And I use this for all of my clients. So it's not just even my own, research. So $10 a year probably for you. And it's going to give you the data on what people are searching for, because the number one mistake I see entrepreneurs make is that they choose search terms based on what they think, not based on what the data is showing them. So you might think your ideal customer is searching for something, or you might think that this is a keyword that your ideal customer is using because it's a buzzword in your industry or something you hear a lot of your clients talk about. But it's really important to understand what they are searching for, because that's the only way that you're going to show up. So using these tools that are available to you to get that data is really, really beneficial. So that is like, hands down, if you take nothing else away from this whole, training on SEO, please know that keyword research isn't about making it up. It's about using the data that's available to you. And we're so lucky with the internet that we have this information available to us. Now, I really love tools that were designed specifically for, SEO research. So I mentioned Keywords Everywhere. Another tool that I love is called Uber Suggest, and we will link these in the show notes. But those are two of my favorites. Another tool that a lot of entrepreneurs are using, myself included, is ChatGPT or another AI tool. But there's a caveat with that. You don't have the data at your fingertips. So it can be really helpful to, get some, like, what are people searching, keywords, different things like that. But I really love numbers. Like, I want to see the numbers and the proof in front of me. That's really important. And when it comes to choosing your keywords, it's not about like millions and millions of searches. It's just about searches, making sure that people are actually searching those terms. And I talk about this in depth inside of my new course, SEO Bootcamp, which just got released. So that's super exciting. But SEO Bootcamp really gives you the step-by-step process to simplifying SEO, to choosing your keywords, to know which keywords to choose, how to format them, where to put them, and how to ultimately boost SEO outside of just keywords. Because it's not just about the keywords, it's all these other things that play a role in ranking your website on Google. So when we're talking about choosing the right thing, like the right keywords, please, please, please look at the data. And then know that that is like step one. And step two is really making sure that your website is optimized for SEO in terms of site speed, incorporating keywords into your photos, the actual copy and placement of your headings. Like all of this plays an important role. And I know that that can feel, oh my gosh, it's like one more thing that I have to learn, right? It's one more thing that I have to know. But when I tell you that these pieces can be implemented and then you can literally walk away, go about your life, go about your business and let them work for you in the background, I'm not lying. And I update my SEO maybe once a year if required. So while it might feel like it's a lot, it can be simplified. That's literally why I created SEO Bootcamp. And it's one of those things that when you take a chunk of time to set it up, you can reap the benefits for years and years to come. And as a marketer, I am 100% interested in that option because we have lives that we want to live, right? Like we want our content, we want our brand to ultimately show up even when we're not behind the computer. I always say that we want your marketing to work even when you're not working, and SEO really is the solution to that. So if you're interested in learning more and taking the next step, where I break this down step by step, teach you how to do your SEO research, how to implement, how to optimize your website, you can definitely head to brandmerry.com/SEO and you can get signed up for SEO Bootcamp. I'm really excited to share this with you. We've had major success not only with my own brand where I'm sharing some of those results, but also my clients over the years as well that have implemented the resources inside of SEO Bootcamp. So what I really want you to walk away with from today's episode is a motivation to take the time to put these principles in place. It's not something that should wait another month. Like it should be a priority now because it's going to take a little bit of time to optimize and to have the platforms actually say like, oh, this person is doing what they say they're doing. But again, when you have these fundamental principles, you can start to apply them to all areas of your marketing. So if you are blogging, understanding SEO will help your blogs show up in Google. If you understand the principles of SEO, you can better optimize your content for platforms like YouTube or Pinterest or TikTok or our friends over on Instagram who are really, really, really trying hard to add SEO. It's like a snail's pace situation, but they're doing it, right? They're working on it. And so having these principles in place can be so beneficial to all areas of your marketing. And then, of course, the other thing that I really want you to remember is that this isn't fluffy stuff. This isn't stuff that you make up. And I know sometimes content creation and writing sales pages and all of that can just feel like such a muscle spasm in your brain where you're trying to just like think and be creative. You don't have to do that with SEO, right? You can take the data, you can apply the data, and there you are set. And so I hope that this episode really motivated you to prioritize optimizing your website and starting to watch those leads and sales come in with individuals who are ready to invest, which is key. Again, if you want to take this a step further, and I would even say if you just are ready to implement, take the mystery out of it, simplify SEO, then SEO Bootcamp is for you. And you can head to brandmerry.com/SEO to check that out. It just released at the time of this episode, so I'm so excited to share that with you. Again, I've been using these strategies with myself, with my own brand, and with my clients for years, but now we have packaged it all up into a course that is available to Brandmerry community members and podcast listeners. Again, last week's episode talks a little bit more about the different areas where you can use SEO. Obviously, one of them being website, which is what today's podcast was about. But this type of marketing, this is truly the answer to sustainable marketing. And I hope to see that you start to implement these changes because I really think the future is SEO. It's been here forever. Everyone's saying the future is AI, and that's kind of true. But the future is SEO because we're seeing so many entrepreneurs burning out and just feeling exhausted with the consistent, need to keep up and with content creation. And so when you want to step away, how is your business working in the background? If you have the SEO pieces in place, especially for your website, and you step away, the traffic is still coming, right? Whether you're posting a new piece of content or not. And that's what I think is just so freaking beautiful. So, thank you so much for joining me in today's episode all about SEO. Again, head to brandmerry.com/SEO to get enrolled in SEO Bootcamp while it's available for a limited time. And feel free to send me a message over on Instagram. If you have any additional questions about SEO, I'd love to direct you to additional resources, or if you have questions about SEO Bootcamp specifically. Also on YouTube, if you want to comment below, I'm happy to answer your questions there as well. There's additional resources linked over on brandmerry.com/podcast and in the description here on YouTube for things that I mentioned in today's episode. And I will be back with another episode next week. Thanks for joining me. We did it. The first video podcast is live.